So now we have to start with the consumer behavior theories. It is actually analyzed in three ways. Okay. Before that, it is studied under two broad heading, that is cardinal utility analysis and ordinal utility analysis. So cardinal utility analysis was propounded by Alfred Marshall and his followers. Actually, it is a story. You have to take down the points in between. Okay. So cardinal utility analysis was propounded by Alfred Marshall and his followers. They believed that this utility can be measured in numbers. Okay, you have to keep it in mind. The utility which we derive by consuming the products, it can be measured in numbers, they told. That is what I told in MU and TU, it is measured in utils. Okay, so Alfred Marshall and his followers by 1890s, in 1890s they told utility can be measured in numbers. That is cardinal utility analysis. Under that you have two theories, that is cardinal utility analysis for one commodity case, cardinal analysis for two commodity case. So consumer is coming to an equilibrium situation for these two of the situations. That condition you have to look through in detail. And ordinal utility analysis, that was propounded by J.R. Hicks and his followers. Hicks and Hansen theory, that is actually called Hicks and Hansen theory. J.R. Hicks and A.N. Hansen, they propounded in 1939 ordinal utility approach. That is, they told utility cannot be measured in numbers. It is a feeling you get. Okay, they cannot be numbered. See, you cannot say you are 3 happy today, 10 happy today, or 7 sad today. It is a feeling. You can say more happy or less sad, or you can say more beautiful, more what you can say, you can only add adjectives to that. You cannot count it. Right? You cannot say that flower is 10 beautiful or that flower is 15 worst. Right? So, it is a feeling. So, they told, Hicks and Hansen and his followers told, utility is a feeling you get. It cannot be measured in numbers. Rather, it can be ordered or ranked. Right? Whether it is highest utility or lowest utility. So, from that, a theory was formalized, that is called ordinal approach or ordinal utility approach. It is also called indifference curve approach, and it is also called Hicks and Hansen theory. Okay, Hicks and Hansen approach. So these are the names which we give for ordinal utility approach, and other names the other one is the cardinal utility approach. That means the utility can be measured in numbers. That is, Alfred Marshall and his followers told that the utility can be measured in numbers. So, for that I have to tell you, the father of economics, the whole economics, is Adam Smith. With his introduction of the book, The Wealth of Nations, that is the nature and causes of an inquiry into the wealth of nations, in the year 1776. Okay, so but with his contribution, with this contribution to economics, he was regarded as the father of economics. That is Adam Smith. But you have, as I told you, two broad categories there for economics, microeconomics and macroeconomics. So Alfred Marshall is considered as the father of microeconomics only for only for introducing the concept marginal. Marginal means a change. Change in one. When one thing changes, what is the total changes happening? See, in marginal utility, in utility we have considered marginal. That means when one more additional unit of commodity is consumed, what is that change in total utility? That was marginal utility, right? So whenever there is a change happening, it is called marginal concept. Okay, so with the introduction of this marginal concept only, Alfred Marshall was regarded as the father of microeconomics. I hope it is clear. Father of microeconomics. Adam Smith is the father of the full economics or general economics. With the introduction of Wealth of Nations, or you can say the full name is An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations, in the year 1776. And again, macroeconomics. Father of macroeconomics is J.M. Keynes. We are coming to that. That you will learn more, more detail in grade 12. So here you have to know, because you are dealing with microeconomics in grade 11, you have to know the whole details of the microeconomics. Alfred Marshall is regarded as the father of microeconomics for the contribution of marginal concept into the microeconomics. Okay, so this is the story which I had to tell you before going to the consumer behavior. So the whole of consumer behavior is divided into three approaches, that is cardinal utility approach, ordinal utility approach, and also one more thing is there, revealed preference theory of Paul A. Samuelson. So these four things, that is Paul A. Samuelson propounded his theory by 1947, and Alfred Marshall gave the cardinal utility approach in 1891. J.R. Hicks and Hansen gave their theory, that is ordinal approach, in 1937, and revealed preference hypothesis by Paul A. Samuelson. He gave that in 1947. So these three things, or these three theories, gave a very important, or you can say a very important place in the what you can say scene of microeconomics. That is, we are analyzing how a consumer behave. You know the whole of economics revolve around producer and consumer. Without consumer and producer, you cannot have economics. So how you analyze the behavior of consumer, or where the consumer gets maximum satisfaction. As I told you, it is the rational consumer. We are rational consumers. We behave accordingly where we get maximum satisfaction out of the income we spend. Right? So our most, like you can say, we are in equilibrium where our satisfaction is maximized out of our income. So these are the three theories, and in this syllabus we have to learn only the first two theories, and first one in detail, second one as a glimpse. So before moving into the first, that is one commodity case, we have to look through a law called law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility is nothing but this thing. See, law of diminishing marginal utility means the diminishing marginal, that means when we go on consuming more and more units of a commodity, the marginal utility, you can see, throughout decreases, but TU initially increases at an increasing rate, reaches maximum, then falls, or then starts falling. So you have a theory, law of diminishing marginal utility. You have to study that. That is, the law of diminishing marginal utility states that as the consumer consumes more and more units of a good, the addition to TU from each new unit consumed goes on decreasing. So you have certain assumptions to the law also. The law is, as I told you, it is the, as we go on consume more and more units of a commodity, the TU, the addition to TU goes on diminishing. Okay, so you have certain assumptions to that. First one is, all commodity is identical. First one is, all commodity is identical. That means all the goods remain same or look same. Okay, which will give you same utility. Then only you can analyze the utility power. So first assumption is all the goods look same. Then the unit of good must be standard. That means what you can say, it should not be a vague thing. It should be a very clear thing. See, if it is shoes, 2 pairs of shoes. If it is mango, 1 kilo of mango. So you have to give a standard value for that. Then there should be a continuity in the consumption. You should not break the continuity in the consumption. Then there should not be a change in price of substitute good. Okay, substitute good means the good which we use in terms of in place of another good. Example, tea and coffee. So if you tea or coffee, if you consume, the same satisfaction is arrived. So the price of the substitute good remains same. Okay. So then next is the utility is measurable. The main, what you can say, the important assumption is that the utility is measurable in utils. That is cardinal utility analysis. The consumer is rational. See. Then the last is money utility. Marginal utility of money is constant. That means money is not changing in its value. It remains constant. So these are the assumptions to law of marginal utility, and this is the, as I told you, we have already stated the law. That is, as we go on consuming more and more units of a commodity, the addition to the total utility goes on diminishing for each consumed additional unit. Okay, and what we have looked through the diagram also, that is TU is increasing initially, reaches a maximum point, then starts decreasing. But MU is throughout decreasing. So the throughout decreasing MU is called the law of diminishing marginal utility. I hope it is clear. So that is the statement of the law. Next we have to look through the one commodity case. That is the cardinal utility behavior is divided into two. That is one commodity case equilibrium and two commodity case equilibrium. So we have to look through in detail. We have to start with the one commodity case equilibrium.